Aye. We're ready to go.
Oh, hello.
Good evening, Clark. Welcome to the Taste Bothy.
Hello, Willie. Good to see you again. Good to be here.
And you? Yes, I hope you've had a good day at work today.
I was fine. It was fine. Can't complain any more than I normally would.
Well, I mean, it was wet, so obviously you would need to sit inside the van all day, Ken, because it's not that kind of weather to be out getting yourself wet.
Couldn't possibly comment since this is recorded.
Was that a leading question? That was a leading question. I can't afford to get you in trouble. Mr. Curry sometimes pops in, and as I read at some of these,
Absolutely.
didn't want him having anything. I'm sure he checks up on us.
I wouldn't want to be saying anything of that sort.
No, and I wouldn't want to be the one that gets you into bother. So, anyway. Welcome to the Tasting Bothy, where every dram tells a story, Clark.
Indeed it does.
And tonight's story is the story of Benromach.
Yeah, looking forward to this.
So, do you know anything about the Benromach distillery? Because, as you know, it's my favourite dram. It's one of my, Cleela's my favourite, but Benromach is my favourite dram.
One of the only things I know about Benromach is that it's your favourite.
Well, the distillery was built back in 1898, and it's up in Forres in Morayshire.
Well,
that's where it is.
I just remembered.
And then it was then acquired by the Gordon MacPhail group. So they acquired it back in 1993. So it was acquired by the family-owned distillers Gordon MacPhail, and they're based in Elgin. So, and they decided to revive the lost Speyside style. So, not many people will know that Speyside histories, Speyside whiskies. Oh, I've got a new name, Spanner TTB. I've never met this person before. So, welcome, Spanner.
Indeed.
Excellent.
Right.
Hi, Anthony. Tony's in with us tonight again. So I'm just explaining a wee bit, lads. Since you're on, we're talking about Benromach Distillery. It's probably my favourite dram. It was established in 1898 up in Forres in Elgin. In 1993, it was acquired by the family-owned distillers Gordon MacPhail, and they wanted to restore and revive the lost Speyside style. So that is a rich, handcrafted single malt with a hint of smoke, because that's how the Speyside style used to be. Most of us are used to the traditional Speyside style that we think of now when we have a Speyside malt whiskey, but the traditional style would be with that delicate hint of smoke. So before 1960, a subtle peat smoke was the heart of the Speyside whiskey, but gently, that was where the distilleries gently dried their barley over a fire using peat. So that's how that was. So you'll get this in, if you're having a Benromach, you're going to get that unmistakable style of a smoky influence with a whiskey. The distillery itself was reopened in 1998 by the then Prince Charles. So that's a wee bit of the background of where we are. So every bottle will have the signature style. So I'm hoping that Clark enjoys this. It's going to have a smoky character. And tonight we've got two fabulous drams. The one you can see running across the bottom of the screen at the moment is the Benromach 15-year-old, and the other dram that we're going to try later on will be the Benromach Vintage 2009 Batch 4. So for me, the whole part of the vintage batches that they have are traditionally about a 10-year-old. So the 10-year-old, this is batch number 4, and it comes in at 57% ABV. The one we're going to try just now is the 15-year-old, and it comes in at 43% ABV. So, without further ado, Clark, unless you've got any questions for me.
Yeah, I have got a question for you. Which one are we doing first?
The 15-year-old, since that's the one running along the bottom of your screen.
Right.
So, we'll do the 15-year-old first.
And there it is.
For me, this is one of my favourite drams. One of my favourite Benromachs. It's just fabulous.
Nice light golden colour.
It's a lovely golden colour. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually quite viscous when you look at it. When you see the legs and you see how it actually forms on the glass,
It's
it's actually quite a viscous dram, Clark.
It's taking a while to do anything at all.
Quite sugary in it.
Mm-hmm.
When you get it on the nose, you'll get that. You'll discover quite quickly, Clark, that it's been matured in a selection of bourbon and sherry casks.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get that intense balance of flavour profile that you get through it. And there's obviously that wee hint of smoke that sits in there.
That's very interesting.
It is an interesting dram. I think the first thing I pick up on it, do you know what it reminds me of?
What?
It's like my mum liked these dark chocolate ginger.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Every Christmas time,
yep.
I always bought her a box of chocolate gingers for her Christmas. She loved them.
Yep.
That's got that wee bit of nose to it for me, in amongst that hint of smoke.
I tell you something. This is the first dram I've smelt for a while that reminds me of a camping trip.
Of a camping trip.
Yeah.
Any particular camping trip?
The one where you had to blow up a lilo.
So it's got that kind of nose to you. This is one that this is Clark's description. For those who didn't know Clark very well, he'll tell me it's like none of us have got a telly or a radio on.
That's Caitlin downstairs. I'll shut the door a wee bit, but if I shut it too far, I'll lose internet connection.
I can hear there's a crackle. There's definitely a crackle on the system tonight, but I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, unless my volume's too high. Is that what it is? Have I got the volume too high? Let me just go and check my volume. I'll pull my volume back a bit. See if, as long as you can still hear me, Clark, and everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've cut my volume back a bit. So, and I'm not getting that crackle now. So perhaps I just maybe had my volume up a wee bit too high.
I don't know.
Anyway,
so Tony's
that on the nose is lovely.
Tony's talking about them. A couple of Benromachs they've done in Polish oak.
Polish oak, yep. I've never had anything in a Polish oak cask, so that's that's interesting.
Very interesting. Well, I need to tell her to turn that telly down. But if you do,
definitely not got songs of praise on. None of us have got songs of praise on.
No, she's got Christmas songs on, and
I can't hear the Clark. So how can I not hear them? Maybe I've got a sound cancelling thing on the background. I'm not hearing that.
No.
Anyway, but I could get plums on this, Clark.
Plums.
Mm-hmm. Aye. I don't know if it's just because I've got that used to drinking Benromachs and whatever else. I do get that smokiness. I don't get that rubbery nose that you're talking about, like that
really
sense of blowing up a lilo.
Blowing up a lilo in the tent. That's the one.
Yeah. Come on in. Let's have a wee sippy of this and see what we think. Slange, mate.
Cheers.
No, you wouldn't think that was a 43%, Clark.
No, you wouldn't, would you?
I think it tastes a wee bit more than that.
There's loads and loads of smoke once you swallow it anyway. The finish, loads and loads of smoke in the finish.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's Quite a long finish, Clark.
Aye, that's right. Aye, it's still lingering there. Yeah, that's right. It is. Aye. I need to have a taste of that again.
I mean, you really you couldn't do anything else. You know, you couldn't. If you were going to do this as a tasting, you would need to do it as the last dram of the night, because there's no way that you could actually do this dram without that. You know, it is.
Nice. We kind of coffee taste it there as well. We touch of coffee.
Yep. I would agree with that. I think there's on the nose. It's definitely tiny wee drop sherry. You pick that up, wee bit vanilla. I get that kind of oranginess, maybe clementine orangey, and then that smokiness sits at the back. It's quite sweet, Clark, actually, even although
it's quite sweet.
It's got that smoke there. And then on the palate, I'm getting that dark chocolate. They're getting the charred oak that comes through it.
That's right.
A wee bit of vanilla. But then that finish is quite long. I like the length of that. It's really nice. But it holds that soft smoke. And it's got like dried fruits in there as well. Oh, that's nice. It's quite creamy, Clark.
It is quite creamy. It is. Aye.
You know, it's got that creaminess to it. Don't know why, but it's got a nice creaminess to it.
Let's see what you're saying, aye.
Right.
Nice. I like that. Quite warm as well. I've got a lot of heat in the back of my throat. Well, just back here from it. Not kind of a chilly heat, but just a nice warmth.
Oh, it's a peppery heat to it.
Nice. Right, I need to put a few scores down for this.
I think it's really unusual for us as well. You know, we've done loads of Speyside drams. Absolutely loads of Speyside.
You never guess it.
We've done Dalwhinnies, we've done all these drams that are up there in Speyside. But this traditional method that prior to 1960 of, you know, drying I mean, and they're a small organisation. You know, they've not got a big staff up there in Elgin. Everything's all handcrafted, so they're not making a lot of spirit and casking it. So, but it is. I just love that. I think that's great. I'm actually I've got some water, Clark. So,
were you going to put a spill?
I know it's only 43%.
I'm going to let you do it first and tell me what happens.
Right. Well, it's in. Oh, it makes it a wee bit more sherry note on the nose. A little less smoky on the nose. It's quite nice. Actually, I like that. It brings more of that sherry, more of that dried fruits through. And you can see what I put in. I put two tiny little drops in. Oh, it's washed the palate away altogether.
Oh, really?
Aye. Yes, aye. It's washed the palate away altogether. Yeah, a little bit of pepperiness. I've not got that pepperiness in there anymore. I've got a right creamy mouthful, a right oily feel in there.
Well, I won't be following your example then.
My finish, I've got the pepperiness in my finish now. Still got that smokiness, and I've got that coat in my tongue, that oily mouthfeel that you get.
Yeah.
But I've kind of lost all that palate that I had at the beginning. I no longer have that in my dram.
A shame.
So it is only 43%. But again, if somebody was looking to introduce somebody to a smoky malt whiskey,
It's a good choice.
with a little bit of water in it would be ideal for that. It's not going to give you that same medicinal punch that you would get from something like a Lafroid or an Ardbeg or something like that. But it's going to give you that lovely smoky finish to it. It's nice and sweet, but there's nothing really in the middle that's actually balancing that out. In fact, I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to sit it earlier out the road. I might come back to it later.
Tony's on a Madeira cask finish from Aberfalls. That sounds interesting.
From Aberfalls. We've had a couple of Aberfalls, Clark, but I can't remember us having a Madeira cask one.
Definitely not. Definitely not. That sounds interesting. That sounds quite good.
It does. So then, how have you scored this, Clark? What's your thoughts on this?
This is well, for me it's a good whiskey. It's a 9 out of 10 whiskey, isn't it? I would say that definitely that. I'm looking back to the last time we did this. I was telling you earlier on that this was the second whiskey that we ever tasted and wrote in our books. Never did it in the bothy, but we've written it in our books way back in 2020. Was the first time we ever tasted this. And back then I gave it a 77, which seems now to be preposterously miserable to give this a 77. You know, so this time
I'm going back to my book. I'm going back to my book as well so that I can see what I gave it. Okay, right, okay. So you gave it a 77?
77 I gave it back then.
Okay, and tonight you have given it?
A 91, so it's got a 9 out of 10 tonight. So it's jumped 91. Up.
Okay.
It's leapt up.
It has. I gave it an 81.
But the last one, back in 2020,
when we did it in 2020, I gave it an 81. Tonight I've given it an 89.
Ooh, there you go.
So
you're just short. You're just shy of a 9 out of 10, and I'm just slightly over a 9 out of 10.
No, so I think we'll call it a 9 out of 10. We'll just get 9 out of 10. I think.
It is.
I was going to say I'm not going to split hairs or that, but I can't split hairs or it. So we'll just call it. We'll call it a 90. I just noticed which is interesting. The next one in our book after the Benromach that night was the St Magdalene's, the Linlithgow distillery that's closed many years ago. Gordon MacPhail.
That's right.
So when we did that, I never realised back then we did 2 Gordon MacPhails back to back here.
So we did.
I never thought about that back then. And this was a 12-year-old St Magdalene's. So that was a really interesting dram, because I think the distillation date was 1916.
1916? Well, like 1966, you know?
Maybe it was. I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe that's what it is. 66 I've written. It looks like 16 I've written, but it could be 66. It's probably what it is.
66. Well, there was nothing left in the barrel. It was 1916 it was put in it.
I know.
Ah, dear.
Anyway, interesting. So, there we are.
Right.
That's as
moving on to
interesting. Tony's just saying that palates and moods change. I will. The mood changes every day, Tony, to be perfectly honest with you. Hopefully my palate's not like that. But you're quite correct. It is, and I think, I mean, we've done so many whiskies now, Clark, over the years that we've been doing this. Our palates have changed.
Oh, right,
you know that there was stuff back at the beginning. I would have went, I wouldn't have enjoyed a dram.
Mm.
You know, I was only really starting to experiment with peaty whiskies, and back then, as I said, my favourite was Kalila.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly didn't like Ardbeg. I certainly didn't like Lagavulin.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have enjoyed a Talisker back then.
Mm-hmm.
But as my palate's changed and been educated, and we've had different drams and we've tried various things, it's amazing just how, I love to have a peaty whiskey now. I really enjoy a peaty whiskey. It doesn't always agree with me.
Yeah.
I find that I can have heartburn during the night if I have too many peaty whiskies. So I quite enjoy when I go to a whiskey tasting, I normally have one peaty whiskey at the end of it.
At the end of it, aye.
So,
well, there's.
Now, Tony, I would have to say to you, I still hate olives, mate. Clark has tried to get me into olives. He has, every time I go to the house, Clark will have a bowl of olives, Clark and Caitlin, they munch away at them. No. I mean, it's funny because I can eat them in a pizza when they're cooked, but if they're fresh olives in a bowl, not a chance.
They're different when they're cooked enough. There you go.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm not putting olives out this year.
Good, that's fine.
This year, when I see you in a couple of weeks' time, I'm not putting olives on the table.
Yes, no, I look forward to that. It's not that far away. Not that far away. It's only 2 weeks a day.
Tony's like you, he doesn't eat bread anymore.
Well, I've cut back on that as well. I don't know what it means by it affects me. That doesn't sound good.
We don't need to know the details, Tony.
We didn't need to go into the detail, no, of how it affects you, but yes. I get that, because it affects me as well, depending on what if the only bread that I really eat nowadays is sourdough. See the stuff we get into conversation about on the tasting, Bothy? It's quite interesting.
Talking about bread and olives now. But anyway,
yes.
What about getting back to Benromach?
Right, we shall. So the next one is the vintage 2009 batch 4. Yep. So as I said to you, Clark, this is, for me, this was, probably still is, my favourite Benromach.
Yeah,
I've got loads of them up on the shelf up here, as you know. I've got loads of them on the shelf. But this is probably my favourite Benromach. Now, if I give you a wee bit of background, Benromach cask strength is usually more or less a 10-year-old at natural strength. That's normally what they do when they do their batch strength whiskies. It's aged in both ex-bourbon and Oloroso sherry casks.
Really? Okay.
So this was the first kind of to be released in the new bottle, the one that you'll see. This is it. This is a new bottle. So prior to that, it was a darker bottle that you had. This is a new bottle. So this is a 15-year-old. The 2009 is up on a shelf somewhere else, but I can't reach that. So yeah. So that was the first one. That was the new identity of Benromach that came out. So this one is cask strength. It's at 57.2 ABV. And again, the colours. The colours are. The colours are not dissimilar. You can see the two of them. They're very, very close, the 15 and the 10, when you actually look at them. This one is maybe a wee bit deeper in colour, but what I would say to them, the difference on the legs on this and the viscosity of it is different from what we had in the previous one. This one isn't as viscous, which is probably tells us that it definitely is younger than the 15. So if you want to have a wee nosy at this one, Clark.
I certainly do.
I think the nose is different, completely different from what we had there.
Well, I would say it's different, aye.
So what we find with this one, for me anyway, is you get that sherry cask. It's quite oaky.
Yes, yeah.
But I think you pick up in there the first thing I pick up is the cloves. Clove and sherry. Then there's a wee bit of kind of orange peel. Back to that Terry's chocolate orange, dark chocolate orange. And that wee bit of ginger, like I said, like my mother's chocolate gingers that she used to have. Certainly makes a wee bit in the nose. And this one is not as peaty smoky compared to the first one. The first one on the nose had a lot more peat smoke. I get like toasted nuts in here. Now, if you're taking...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other thing I get, now this is going to sound mental, is I get a little bit of like umami type stuff, the mushroomy. Tony thinks mine looks darker than yours.
Must be the light.
It must just be the light.
But if I'm looking at the screen, our skin tones are different as well. So
our skin tones are different.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly mine's does look. I'm going to put my light on, Clark. A big light on to see it. No, to see if it is a light.
Yeah, it must be because your skin's
because you've got made glass, Clark.
It's pinker than mine. Mine looks a bit more browny. And I know you don't have pink skin. I know you're quite well tanned, so it's definitely lighting.
It's definitely lighting.
I got a smell like grapes a minute ago, and I was about to say to you, there's a nice sort of green grape kind of thing there, but you said other things, and I've lost that now.
Right. And the thing is, I get quite a bit of linseed oil in this. You know, that kind of beeswax, honey note to it. But so it's not anywhere near as peaty as the first one. You not got that smokiness on the nose.
You really don't know. No.
So let's have a wee sippy and let's see what we get.
There's a wee hint of smoke there, but
yes, there is.
But not
right at the very back of it. Aye, but it's not as smoky as the first one. That's what I mean.
Yes, I'll give you that.
Definitely there. Yeah. Right, slide, mate. Oh, your beauty. This is why I love this dram. Because it kind of slaps you about the face.
Oh, that's a broad dram. Oh, I like that. You would never believe that was the same one.
That's got everything, Clark, that you and I like in the sherry drams. You and I are very much sherry cask guys. We like a sherry cask.
We do, yes.
This gives me that, but it also gives me that peat smoke. The finish on it with that little bit of peppery, sweet smokiness is amazing. When you put it in your mouth, it's quite peppery. Quite clovey.
It is, aye.
As I said, I find it quite earthy. That's why I was saying that umami, that kind of mushroomy. It's quite an earthy feel to it. I quite like that.
I know what you're saying, aye.
You're left with that. It reminds me of when I used to go fishing as a wee boy, and you put your tatties in the fire to cook them. And they came out, and the skin on the potato was all charred and burnt. And you'd open the tatty up and you'd eat the tatty inside, but you still ate the potato skin. And you had that crispy, crunchy, ashy smokiness. That's what I get for this.
I see that.
That's why. This is why it was when I remember the first time I tasted this and went, "Oh, it blew my mind." Still does. Every time I taste it, it's like this is a great jam.
It's a lovely jam. It really is. I really like that. And that's
the first one. It's got a long finish.
Aye,
Still near.
And it's got a wee bit of fruitiness about it that we didn't have. It's got a wee bit of that dry
Yes,
kind of
agree.
fruitiness about it that it didn't happen in the last one at all.
In the finish or in the palate?
Oh, in the palate. Okay, I'll take another sip just to make sure.
I think you should. I think you should have a wee sippy again just to make sure.
I think so too.
And not if you're left out, I'll have one as well.
No, it's a nice rich fruitiness on your palate. It's lovely.
It's like a mouthful of black currants, Clark. It's like
lovely.
the black currant. Remember these fruit gums? It's like a black currant fruit gum.
I know what you're talking about.
And then that smoke just washes over it.
It does, aye. A wee bit more spicy than the last one as well.
Well, it is because it's 57% ABV.
Well, that could be it. That could be it, aye.
So, again, just for demonstration purposes.
Right, I'll let you do it first, and if you waste it, I'm not following you.
Right, I've put two wee drips in there. Nose becomes a wee bit more subtler. I've lost that umami earthiness that was there. I didn't have that kind of mushroomy smell. Kind of moist, fusty, forest floor smell. It's become a lot more sweet. Kind of muscovado, sugary, and the kind of dried fruits that you get from a sherry cask. Bit more oakiness comes through. Right, here's a bit I'm dreading. Has it changed the palate? It's taking that wee bit of the heat out, Clark, that we had there at 57%. Still peppery. Still, in fact, it's actually quite a lot more peppery. It's really peppery. Mouthful of these kind of red fruits and the sweet smoke that we had. So actually, I think what it's done is just mellowed it out slightly for me. It's not like what it did the last time, because the last time when I did that on the 15-year-old, it washed everything out. This hasn't washed everything out. This is actually, it's made the finish even longer. I've got that, my mouth is on fire with peppers, like a, not so much a chili heat, but a peppery heat. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
All right, you've taught me into it. Let's have a wee spot of water in it then. So we'll put a wee spot of water in it and we'll see how it's...
In fact, it's lost that kind of linseedy note that I had on the nose, but I'm getting more of that toasted nuts. I'm getting kind of more orange peel coming from it on the nose.
Right, there we go. I managed to get it all over my hands. Thank goodness I didn't get over the inside of the glass.
It's quite clovey. I've got that nice numbness, not that. I can feel my top of my gum is quite anaesthetised.
That's really quite changed the smell. It really has. I think it's quite different. That's great.
Tony's asking, he's saying he's not into super smoky peaty drams.
It's not super smoky.
This
peaty.
isn't a, it's not a peaty dram,
Yeah.
Tony. It is smoky, but it's not like Ardbegs, Lagavulins, Kilcomans, Lashaigs. It's not like that. It's not got that peaty medicinal that you would expect to get from a West Coast malt. It has a smoke to it. So if I would liken it more to being around, like Clark said, being around a campfire and having that whiff of smoke that you would get. But it's not really what I would say. He's just noticed the merchandise in the tasting bothy. Yes, we're in matching t-shirts, Tony. Well said.
Yeah.
We'll get the merchandise, and we'll have baseball caps on next.
Can't see me quite so much because I think the light above me is
because you've got the light above you and my light's in front of me. So yeah,
there you go. See, there you go.
I would suggest, Tony, that I keep saying that we need to try and catch up. We've never managed it. So I've got so many drams that I need to put in a wee bottle. Timu here we come. So I've got so many drams that I really would love to share with Tony at some point.
I'd be quite happy to share them with you as well.
Well, I think we need to go on a tour, Clark. I think we should organise a tour. Go and spend. We need to go down, take the wives with us, and spend a weekend in the north of Wales. And then we could go and do a wee whiskey tasting at the North Wales Whisky Society. Do a whiskey tasting with them and take some of these wee bottles with us, and it would be an excellent night. I'm sure it'd be an excellent night. But we'd need to make sure we had the wives with us, because somebody would need to drive us back to their hotel.
Well, I was about to say, why did we want them? And then it occurred to me, we need a driver.
This is the one where we take the caravans, Clark. We need to tow the caravans down to Conway. Put them up in Conway somewhere and go and do that.
That's quite nice overall.
I can understand that.
I've had my caravan in Conway before.
Aye.
Long time ago.
A long time ago.
It was, aye.
Anyway. So I'm going to go back to Spanner. How are we, Spanner? You're very, very quiet. I'm not hearing much. You've said hello, guys, and that's as much as I've heard for you. Tony's been doing all the talking, so give us a wee thumbs up, Spanner. Give us your thoughts if you have not tried this, if you're still with us. Obviously, your brother's not joined us tonight.
He's away on holiday.
Oh, he's on holiday?
He's away on holiday, so I haven't told him, because he's away, so he'll not be, unless he gets on his phone, I suppose he could, but I don't know.
So, scores on the doors, Clark.
Yes,
there we are. Spanner's still listening to us. So, Spanner, can you type in your thing? Where are you about? So we've got Tony. Tony's down just in the north of Wales, so in Conway. So where about are you, Spanner? Tell us where you're from. Clark and I are both in Falkirk, for those who want to know where we are. We're right in the centre of Scotland. So. I'm interested in this, Clark. I'm really, this tonight, because we've done 2 Benromachs. And we've done Benromachs before. We have done Benromachs before. Now, you've obviously improved your score for the last time you did the Benromach 15. This is the first time you've done this one. So I'm really interested in your score in this and whether you prefer this one to the 15-year-old.
Northern Ireland, there you go.
Here we are. It's for Northern Ireland. I should have been saying Boucher to Declan. See how he is. Part of Northern Ireland. Which part of the province?
Good.
Spanner. Declan, where are you? He's not been on with me. We need to do a couple of whiskies for Northern Ireland. Then we need to pick up the ones and do it because we've not done it. We've done a couple of Jamesons before, but that's for the south.
We've done Southern Irish. I don't know if we ever had a.
Me, I was more enthusiastic about it. Oh, it's for County Fermanagh. Right, okay. Right.
Nah.
Yes, I know it well. I lived over in Belfast for about a year. Probably 10 years ago now. Goodness, as long as ago as that when I think about it. I lived out there. I travelled to the province quite a lot. Or I did within the motor industry, Declan. So I've done a lot of work across here. I love Northern Ireland very much. So, but we need to do something. We need to do something with some Irish whiskies when we get the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, young man, tell me where we are. I can call you young man because you're 6 months younger than me. Right, get on with it.
I know. It's ages until I'm as old as you.
No, it's no. And I'm no counting. Well, maybe.
I know I'm catching up a wee bit too quickly for my liking.
I love it. It's great. I can't wait. I've only got 3 months to go.
It's not quite as long
well,
as
not even 3 months. Two and a bit.
Not quite as long as 3 months. Right. Tony's right. I would say we are a lot more enthusiastic about the second one than the first one. Mm-hmm. It's a lovely dram.
Question I've got to ask you first is first one.
What's that?
You didn't add water to the first one. You've added water to this one.
Yes.
Did you prefer it with or without the water on this one?
You see, that's an interesting question because I do like cask strength. I think I probably.
It's Tony's birthday on Tuesday. He says he doesn't count anymore. That means he must be older than us then.
If he stopped counting.
He might. Well, he stopped counting. If he stopped counting.
But even older than you.
Well, he must be, aye. I mean, I'm going to hazard a guess. If he stopped counting, because I've not stopped counting. But I didn't stop counting because of you, to be perfectly honest with you. I might have stopped counting years ago.
I think
Did you like it with or without water?
I like it with water, but I think I've maybe preferred it a wee bit more without the water. Because I do like the cask strength.
Shall I bring it with me on the 28th?
Well, there's no way I'm going to say to you, don't bring it.
It'll need to be the last dram of the night.
Well, it probably would need to, well, unless I've got something that's smoky.
Well, unless you've got something that's smoky that we can compare and contrast.
What's that? So Tony's 57 on Tuesday.
He's 57 on Tuesday.
Right, so he's a young guy then.
Aye, well, I didn't stop counting at that age.
No, I've been counting your age for
we're a lot older than that, Clark.
Well, you are.
Beat it. Right. Score. Right.
Oh, dear.
Score.
Right.
You ready? Go for it.
Right. I've given this a 93 because this is a good dram. This is a really good dram. So I've actually scored it the same as I scored last week's Tam Do.
Really? Is that what you scored the Tam Do 21?
That's what I scored the Tam Do 21. I've scored this the same. And I'm thinking upon reflection that maybe the Tamdu 21 is maybe just slightly better, but it's the way I've scored it. So I've scored it.
But you don't know why.
No, I don't really know why. No.
See, but the thing is, I'll tell you why. Right, here's my thought on this.
Come on then.
The Tamdu 21,
Mm-hmm.
flavour profile wise, with the sherry cask, is very similar.
I suppose it is. That's right.
But the finish on this with that little bit of peat smoke just elevates it. Particularly if you like a peaty dram. It's not that it's a heavy smoke that's on it.
No.
I've scored at 92, Clark.
Well, there you go. Look, there you are. Yeah, that's 2 high scores.
But last week, I scored the Tamdu a 95.
You did. That's right.
So, I scored the Tamdu slightly higher. But there's nothing that I couldn't stop me from scoring this a 95, really. Because it's got everything that I like in a sherry cask, although this is ex-bourbon, ex-sherry. When you nose it, particularly now, I'm getting that toffee, caramel. I'm getting all that stuff that you would get for a sherry cask, dried fruits. It's been sitting in the glass a wee while. It's been breathing. And I'm now getting, it's a really, really rich sherry. If I was to put this in the glass and put that 21 in the glass again and nose it, that profile wouldn't be too different. It'd be very, very close.
I see what you're saying, huh?
But it's that little bit of it's a hint of smoke at the end. It just seems to, and I think the difference is this one. Its finish is longer than the one that we had last week.
You're right. It probably has a longer finish. Yep. No, I don't know. But it's that smokiness that hangs on, though.
Yep, it is, and the pepperiness. It's got a lot more pepperiness to it than the 21-year-old had last week. So, Tony's been looking at the 15-year-old, £63.90 from the World Whisky here in the UK. That's about the going price for the 15-year-old. I think when I got that 15-year-old, I paid 48 quid or something for it, but it wasn't as popular. This one here, the 2009, can't buy it anymore.
What is it?
So if you can find one of these for sale, when I bought 2 of them. So I've got the one that's open that we're drinking, and I've got a full one sitting on my shelf. When I bought them, I think I paid £50 to £60 each for them. And one of them came from Norway because I couldn't get it. I bought it for Norway and they shipped it to me. The other one I bought, I can't remember where I bought it, but I got it here in the UK. Maybe for World Whisky or from Malt Masters or somebody like that. But you cannot buy a batch for 2009 anymore. There's none of them left. That's why I'm not opening the second one that's sitting up on the shelf, and I'm just going to keep a hold of that because I think you'll never find that. So Tony thinks that Benromach is sleeping next year. That's a possibility, Tony. I was at a whisky tasting maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago, locally here, for the distributor for Benromach. So it was held through in Linlithgow, just out to the east of us, and he was saying that they may be reducing production. I don't think they'll actually stop it next year, but the whole situation with them there is it is such a small production anyway. They've only got about, I think, 6 people in the team that actually, from doing the malting, because they do their own malting, so that they malt it, then they go through that mash and fermentation process into production. They're not making thousands or millions of litres every year. They're just small batches. So it may be that, you find that they might sleep for a year and live on what they've actually got because they can. But when I spoke to him, as I said a few weeks back, that wasn't the plan. It wasn't the plan to sleep. But there's a number. There is a number of distilleries that the whiskey industry at the moment is definitely in decline. There's a lot of issues going on with it, and a lot of it is down to the fact that the tariffs from America, the amount of people that are buying whiskey at the moment, it's just we are certainly in decline, and all the young people that would normally come through into pubs, clubs, and whatever else, they're just not doing that now. Most young people, when I see them, they're in the gym. They're not doing that, or they're sitting at home having a beer before they go out, or a glass of wine before they go out. There's not a lot of them drinking whiskey. So it's great because it's more for Clark and I.
Hey.
But distilleries can't live on that. But it's having a major effect, knock-on effect, because farmers aren't growing as much barley because there is not so much demand for them. There's a lot of distilleries here that I'm seeing that have got their own maltons. I've cut the amount of barley that they're buying. So farmers are struggling financially with that. That's not going through the barley. That process isn't going through. There's a couple of maltons that I know that have actually went to sleep this year. So they're not going to be malting the barley for their distilleries. So it's a bit of a mess at the moment. But hopefully in the next kind of couple of years, we'll see that start to come back again. But it is a difficult time for the whole of the whiskey industry. So that might be the case. I've not read that yet. I've not seen that yet. But I used to know Keith Cruikshanks, who was the guy up at Benromach. Keith Cruikshanks was his distillery manager up there before he went across to America. But that was quite short-lived. He's actually back in the UK again. I don't know where he is, but he's no longer the distillery manager up there. So, there's a lot of things going on, and I see that Declan's saying there it's the same at Bushmills. They're only producing half of what they've got. So yeah, and myself at Rosebank, we've seen that happen there, where production has been cut there as well. So there's a lot of stuff happening within the industry just now, but hopefully it will all come back soon. The good news is there's plenty in casks and already in bottles that we can still buy and enjoy. So it's not all doom and gloom.
Stocks and warehouses are huge. Well, thank goodness for that.
Yeah. As long as they don't put them in the casks too young, into the bottles too young, at 4 and 5 year old, 6 year old. As long as they can continue to survive, to allow whiskey to mature. Anyway.
Money in the bank, yeah, you're right. Hey.
Anyway, Clark.
You see
this must be one of the longest. It must be one of the longest nights that we've actually been in the bothy.
It must be
almost an hour in the bothy, and I feel like it's gone like that.
I know that's almost twice as long as we normally do. Wow.
Yep. So before we get into a stage where we're away past where we should be, we apologise for those who are going to watch this on YouTube later on. We went way past our usual time in the bothy. Thanks very much, Declan, Tony, for interacting with us on our YouTube channel, asking questions, sharing these various things. It's great to have you in with us. It certainly makes our night. And if you want to join us again at some point in the future, Tony, what we might actually do is I might send you the link and you can join Clark and I in the bothy at some point. You can choose maybe a dram that we've got here. Send me a message with a dram that you've got that's there, and we'll see if we've got that here, or we'll send you what we've got, and we'll see if you've got one of those in your collection that you want to open and have a wee taste on. or you might want to talk about. I think that's overdue because you've been joining us now for a wee while. We'd love to have you in the tasting bothy because I can't seem to catch up with you when I'm doing in Nantwich. So maybe that's the best way for us to try it.
Great idea.
All right. So, he's off tomorrow. She's away for a few beers and drams tonight. Have a great night. Thanks very much, Tony. I am going to go to try a wee beer tonight. I've got an Orkney ale downstairs, a little stout. So I'm going to have that, and that'll be me. And I will see you all soon. Clark will see you all soon. So it's good night from us in the tasting bothy. Declan, have a safe week. Tony, have a great week. And we'll see you again in the tasting bothy.
Do you have to put on this?
The answer to that question is no, because it will sound terrible.
It probably would.
I'd much prefer you kept your Welsh accent. Right?
Yeah.
We'll catch you all soon. See you soon. Bye now.
Good night.